Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, and holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing. If you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a
Well, my little pep talk to myself. Hi. I checked the other button. I didn't check that button in case you didn't notice. I did not check the button that I needed to check in order for us to have ourselves a good time. What a fucking joke. Anyways, hi, that's exactly the kind of day that I've been having, but I hope that you've been having a better day. Bill, I apologize because this triggers Bill. So I normally am here in my kitchen and you missed me cooking. I'm sorry. I sent you all lasagna. I hope you enjoyed it. In the meantime, we're going to watch some court and we'll get to watch the proper screen, not behind the scenes. But if you could hit the like button, regardless of the fumbled intro, that would be great. Thank you, Lindsay. I want you to remember about the best neighbor you ever had, and then I want you to think about the worst neighbor you ever had. Somebody in your community that you maybe wanted to sue, perhaps, because we're going to watch some small claims court. That's the kind of thing that we like to watch around here. Oh, you're so sweet, Lindsay. You're making me blush. I'm laughing that I didn't check that button. So funny. I wish I had guys in the truck. My guys in the truck don't give a flying fuck. So that's about the truth of that. We're off to Thurston County, but it's not TPOs. It is small claims. The gift they bestow us on Fridays. So let's see what they've got.
Right, Ms. Sandra Starks, Mr. Montgomery, good morning.
Good evening.
Good morning.
There we go. Thank you. And Mr. Pendelli, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
And I understand, Ms. Sandra Starks, that you and Mr. Montgomery are moving to dismiss the claim as it relates to Geico Insurance.
Yes.
That's a big D around here. If you're a member, you get to have special emojis, including one for when we get a big
Mr.
D
Pendelli, I
dismissal.
will grant, obviously, the plaintiff's motion to dismiss the claim as it relates to your client. I've signed an order to that effect, and I'll then proceed with her claim against LKQ Auto Parts.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. And so you go by Miss Starks, is that right?
Miss Starks, one moment. We want to say thank you to Beverly. Beverly, are you, we're so excited that you're feeling a little bit better. We're so thankful for your support. 22 months is amazing. And I'm always excited to see you in chat. Yay.
All right. So my question on this one is LKQ Foster Auto Parts. Are they the owner of the shop that you had your car's repair work done at?
No, so they sold bad engines to and it resulted in me being without my car for 58 days, so I couldn't work.
Right, no, yeah, what I'm trying to figure out is, I read through what you'd filed, but I couldn't tell from there. One, it's hard to, when you're presenting some of those handwritten documents, they don't scan very well, and so I can't read them very clearly. So LKQ Auto Parts is located in Spokane, and that's where they
near
were served. I
me,
saw that in your
Miracle
service
Monocle.
documents. So where was the work done? Was it done in Lacey? It looked to me like you had work done at a shop in Lacey.
Rude, Judge. Oh, you're talking about her car, not plastic surgery. Anyways, thank you so much for 19 month support. I love you too. I hope little Owen is doing well. He's not little anymore. But I'm thankful for your support. Thank you.
In Yelm, sir.
Okay, and yeah, all right. And how does the shop in Spokane figure into this? Explain that to me.
Yeah, so in December of 2024, I had Geico covered a claim, a comprehensive claim to replace my engine. LKQ sold them an engine that was bad. And so um I had to take my car back to Geico a total of 5 times for repairs. Geico partners with LKQ Auto Parts and they have a guarantee on their parts. But the parts that they sold were faulty. And so it resulted in me not being able to work. I used my car for work. I'm a mom and I lost out on a lot of wages because of that. So that's why I'm here and that's why LKQ is on the suit.
Okay. All right.
So crazy. We have covered some insane court cases from Thurston
You're not
County.
claiming that the shop in Yelm did anything improper. You're claiming that the product they were provided by LKQ was defective.
Yeah, so since it was done through my insurance company, um the the insurance company is the one who chose the shop. And the shop has to have like they're basically like a yes man and where they have to ask for permission from anything from Geico. So if they find a problem wrong with it or anything like that, they have to ask Geico and Geico makes the approval. So Geico did have a warranty on the engine. But I think the warranty expired after a certain period of time, but the engine started out as faulty. So I took it back to Geico. I was able to get a rental car during this time period, but I had to take it back 5 different times. And each time they got a part from LKQ, the parts were bad.
Hold on. I have to ask a question. Does Geico have repair shops that are like labeled Geico? Remember, I'm Canadian. I don't remember. Or I don't know. And then also, if you had a rental car, what do you mean you couldn't do your work? That seems like you had the car.
Okay. All right. And the engine provider is a business in Spokane, is that correct?
I believe so, sir. Yes.
All right. Okay, we have not heard from them.
hmm
I assume you haven't, is that correct?
Well, they did. I put in a certificate of service and where they signed for the documents, so
So,
they just didn't show, I guess. But no, I haven't heard from them.
okay. One last check here.
it's interesting to me that Geico didn't show up. They're, you know, generally they got people for this. They got people. What often happens, well, hi, Adam. What often happens is that people serve the wrong office of an insurance company. They have a lot
All right, I
of
do show
offices.
service on LKQ Foster Auto Parts on the 8th of September.
Good evening. Judge is, he's a ponderer. He's a bit of a ponderer. By the way, this is pretty fresh court. This happened. I think she just didn't she just dismiss, or was that the case before? See, I lose track already. I've watched literally thousands and thousands of court cases now. Army brat. And that's why I take notes normally
And
when I'm doing it.
Ms.
for-
Starks, what were the cost of the notice you sent to them in Spokane?
The cost was I thought I had it in front of me.
If I may be of assistance, it was $20.70 to Geico.
Oh,
Bro, where the fuck have
the
you
cost
been?
of service?
Yes, the cost of service on LKQ.
Oh, yes, sir.
Are you, yes, sir, meaning it was the same as the same cost as the service on Geico, $20.77?
Yes, I attached the like $40, and so
40, like $40,
yeah, the price on each
Mikey.
one of them was like $20.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Vindelli.
Thanks for the raid.
I also added that into the small claims. I'm not sure if that means anything.
Okay, so tell me what your principal amount is for your belief as to the
Oh my gosh.
damaged engine or
She's just damaged in general. Judge, you sound a little drunk. Did you have an after or before work drink? Allegedly, in my opinion. Also, Christopher, thank you. Texas Roadhouse is famous for, tell me over here in the chat. I don't know.
defective engine.
So my
And- So let me clarify, the $10,000 you filed for it based on loss of wages and the defective engine, is that right?
no, that's the incorrect notice, Your Honor. I filed an amended notice of small claims, and that has a amount on it. So when I initially filed
$7,853.15.
$7,000, yep, $803.15.
How many rolls would that get you at Texas Roadhouse, you think? Do they come free?
Give you a new form. Okay.
Oh, no, let me create one more.
Cold beer, Christopher, and good food. I love it. It sounds like you're only missing good company,
just
but I'm
with,
glad we're there with you.
LKQ on it.
Courtney, you changed your picture.
And the amount you
I
put in
told you
there,
it's the last
are you
straw.
telling me, Ms. Starks, includes the service and filing fee?
So the amount I put on the notice itself, I did the $7,803 is for the loss of wages.
She lost wages, Mikey. She got shadow banned from her work by this accident. Always here. Love it. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the raid again. I appreciate your after dark shows. Enjoy family time, Christopher. And she did not say 8K, right? Alex, we gotta go back. Mikey interrupted it. Guys in the truck. Oh, wait. We don't have guys in the truck. 22 months. That's long. Okay, let's hear what she says again.
The notice itself. I did the $7,803 just for the loss of wages. I included the $50 plus $40 because I served Geico as well, but Geico, so just give or take. So it should be like 8,000. I mean 7,000, and I don't have it in front of me.
Okay, so you list here as the damage for lost wages and defective engine, $7,853.15. Did you build into that number the $50 filing fee and the $20 service fee, or is that separate?
The filing fee is built in, but I don't think I put the service fee on there.
Okay, all right, thank you.
She's gonna win this by default. Courtney, 22 months. You've always been here too. Thank you. Oops is the name of the game today. Yassi. Is that lost wages, or is like she calculated the engine
All right,
cost like $7,000
in this
or
matter,
something?
LKQ Foster Auto Parts was indeed served on the 8th of September. They have not filed any response. I did review the material submitted by Ms. Starks, indicating her belief that the repair of her auto in a shop directed by Geico involved an engine from LKQ Foster Auto Parts, which appears, based on the information provided to the court, to have been defective. Based on that information, I will grant the judgment in the principal amount of $7,803.15, $50 filing fee, and a service fee of $20.77. Total judgment $7,873.92 against
Plus $5
LKQ
from
Foster Auto
MPC.
Parts on behalf of Ms. Starks.
Thank you.
All right,
MPC.
thank you, Ms. Starks.
She won, you guys.
And you can get a
Now
copy of that
collecting.
judgment from the court.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
I do
And
like wearing red. This
See,
dress
we've
is
opened
pure
up some,
red.
but I don't see Ms. Conant or anything here.
I just messaged Justin and nobody's responding from our civil department, so I'm just
Okay.
waiting.
Okay,
And Space Panda, welcome. I
okay.
appreciate you following Mikey's advice. The boys tend to lead us well. We gamble around here too. I know you like that. Points and all. You get points for chatting. You get points for being funny. You get points for being punny. You get points just because. And the points, what can you get with them? Well, absolutely nothing. They're completely arbitrary. But we like to play with them. So enjoy. You can check your points by going !points. Oh, thank you.
And folks, the
And
name
I
here
don't.
is,
Oh, Judge, did you want to say
Thank
thank you too?
all right, Ms. Sheehan, come on up.
Thank you. Come on up. Also, when we take the oath, we raise our right hand around here.
And Mr. Scobie, if you'd activate your audio video, please. Thank you.
SCOBY, isn't that the thing in kombucha? Also, who are you, sir? Is that Shells? Oh, Jeff with a G. Okay, I'm ready, Judge. Mike's Plum Street. What the heck is this going to be about? Is this an
This
auto?
is a claim for $9,137.91 or 91 cents for defective repair, alleged breach of warranty.
One time we had an eyebrow threading case or an eyebrow blading case where they disputed that the results looked like shit. My eyebrows live in different time zones.
Ms. Sheehan, go ahead.
They're cousins, not sisters.
Actually, I'm sorry, let me swear you both in. Ms. Sheehan and Mr. Scobie and Mr. Shellstead. Anybody's going to testify, please raise your right hands. Swear the testimony in this case to be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
I do. I do.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Sheehan, go ahead.
I own a 2007 Nissan Frontier. On May 17th of 2022, my son borrowed my truck. I live in Oregon. He traveled up to Olympia. On his way, he experienced complete engine failure. I had towing to Olympia, and he got quotes for repairs. I had a written estimate from Mike's Plum Street Auto on 5/19. I authorized the repair, and the
And
truck
what
was
year
left
is
in his
this?
garage
I-
in 2007.
No, what year did all this occur?
20,
Man, that's
22.
18 years ago.
Okay.
Oh,
That's an 18-year-old
2021.
car.
Okay.
Or 17.
I'm sorry, say that again?
So in May of 2021 is when the engine failure occurred?
yes.
Okay, so go ahead, go forward from there.
Good night, Beverly. We love you.
On
Sweet dreams.
6/10, I did leave, I authorized the repairs.
Okay, your estimate was from Mike's,
Plum Street Auto.
okay. And,
That estimate is page 1 of my exhibits.
okay, so hold on.
Don't get anxious. I could only call it abuse. Abuse to a car. But I'll tell you something. That Hyundai, ooh, she took it. She took every little bit of abuse that you gave her. And she didn't require much. She didn't need much
So,
love nor oil.
It looks like the estimate was somewhere in the neighborhood of $7,500.
The estimate was.
Okay.
She ran if it rained. She ran if it snowed.
And it was for the installation of a used engine, is that correct?
As far as I know, it was just the long block. But their invoice said used engine.
Okay, keep going.
On 6/10, Ken had called me and said that the truck is repaired. And the invoice came to $9,137.91, and to bring a cashier's check. And I know that it was more than the estimate, but I was just happy to get the truck repaired. And I got a cashier's check and the total as they requested. And a copy of that final invoice can be seen on page 2, 3, and the cashier's check on page 4 of my exhibit.
I see it. $9,137.91.
Plus $5 from MPC. Thank you, baby, for the new hairdo. Like this one, you like it?
Okay.
On arrival, I paid him and we went out, and started the truck, and immediately there was a concern. It was very obvious an unnerving ticking sound. And I said, well, the sound matched the RPMs as the engine was running. And I asked the shop manager, Ken, about it, and he just sort of just waved the issue on. And he just said, okay, when you get home, take it to a shop and have it oil changed, have them inspect it for leaks, and see if they can tell you what this ticking noise is. And I did. When I left Plum Street Auto, the odometer read 123,074. And when I got to Gil's Auto in Redmond and had the oil changed and inspection, my odometer read 123,336. And the service notes state that the oil change was performed. They checked for leaks in the source of the ticking sound. And there was 2 lights on, the CEL and the TPMS light. And that can be viewed on page 5 in my exhibits.
Putting a new engine in an old truck seems like a big endeavor. Yeah, and of course it was more than the estimate, but wasn't it within like a couple dollars of the estimate? I worked at a car place for a long time, not in
Okay,
the
so I'm
service
looking at
department.
page 5.
What, Judge?
It has checklist items all good, and then it says check engine for leaks and see what is ticking noise. But is there something else in there that I'm supposed to see?
It's just stating that there was a ticking noise.
Did anybody grab the clock
Go ahead.
or the cup?
Okay. The ticking sound, when I left, the ticking sound, it still made me very nervous to drive the truck. So I did very rarely. I did around town. I just wasn't secure as a person. I didn't leave town. I had an emergency in December. That was 6 months. I had to come to Washington to a hospital emergency. And in the course of the trip, the truck started using oil excessively. And within that time frame, I was very concerned. So we would stop both sons were with me at that time. And we would stop every 50 miles to check the oil and to fill it to the fill line.
Okay, and when is this?
That was in December, 6 months after I picked up the truck.
Yeah, you're right, Space Panda. A write-off and a new car is way cheaper than dealing with this bullshit. But it sounds like they just did this on their own. There doesn't sound to be an insurance involved here.
Okay. So I'm looking back at your Gills estimate. You told them to look for engine leaks, and did they find any?
They did not.
Okay. Okay, but
They
6 months
noted-
later, you're having to replace oil every 50 miles and you suspect there's a leak.
It was just using oil. That's all I knew.
Okay,
And the ticking hadn't changed. It was consistent. But as for using oil, there was no other concern. It was driving the same. But the using oil really concerned me. So I kept an eye on that.
Mhm.
Upon returning home, it had used a quantity of like 4 quarts of oil. So
for a trip of what length?
it was approximately 300 miles, no, 300 each way, 600 miles.
Is that like 1,000 kilometers? Hey Google.
Okay, go ahead.
On returning home, I called Mike's Auto and I spoke to Ken. I told him about the oil usage and he provided no remedy. I was just left irritated and confused. So like 2 days later, my son had an emergency, not too far away. It was 26 miles. It was a personal emergency. He was fully aware of the situation. He checked the oil before he left. He took oil with him. If there was any problem, he could refill as needed. But unfortunately, 21 miles into that trip, he experienced abrupt total engine failure again.
And when is this?
That
Sounds like a math problem.
That was right after my trip. That was 6-7 months later after I had picked it up.
Okay, so I'm looking at something from Parkdale Towing and on the 2nd of December of 2022 is,
That's still to come.
okay, so you had a total failure in December of 2021.
First repair,
Okay,
yes.
Yeah, that
Okay,
it
go
should
ahead.
not
I
go
had
for
it
that
towed
much.
home. And I called Ken again and gave him all the information I had about my problems with the truck. And he gave me a solution, which was he found an auto place in Redmond, Oregon. And I had that truck towed to them and they diagnosed it and talked to Mike's Plum Street Auto and not me. They gave him the diagnosis and they had Mike's Plum Street Auto had it towed by their expense back to Olympia and did the repair again under warranty, of course. There, I don't know.
Where's my pen?
okay, go ahead.
Sam, don't
And
lose
you
your
didn't have
composure
to
today.
pay for that repair in December of
I did
2021.
not. That was under warranty, and they
It's an 18-year-old
were
Nissan.
they were trying to remedy the situation, and it took 11 months for that repair, and I was very understanding. I called 3 times within the time limit they had the truck, and they would tell me the truck is being repaired as they could. It was their busy season, air conditionings, oil changes, and I was just happy, just repair it. That's all I want. So I was very accommodating with them. So excuse me.
So what,
Sir.
ma'am?
It's okay.
In late November, Ken called me and the truck was ready for pickup
Okay,
and to bring $200 as needed for a new battery because it had set for that 11 months. So I asked my son, he lived in Olympia, I lived in Oregon. I relayed the message to him and he brought the $200 for the battery. When he arrived to pay and pick up, Ken stated that Mike's Auto was not going to perform any further warranty work moving forward. The warranty had been used and no warranty provided from that moment on. So he was stating that I had used my 1-year warranty, but I feel that I got 6 months and the rest of the time was in his possession. So I didn't get 1-year warranty. My son picked it up and was told that, and it sounded good. He had told me. And I asked him, is it ticking? And he said, yes, Mom. But he felt like it was safe enough to continue on. a journey to Oregon. So he checked the oil, of course, because of the last situation we had, kept an eye on that and began his way home. Uh, Roughly 150 miles on top of Government Camp. The engine failed, a total failure. It coasted, the truck coasted into Government Camp, and he
What does she
safely
mean by
parked
total
it in
failure?
a safe parking spot so I could have it towed home. There was an awful snowstorm, so it took a few days for that tow truck to get up to there to get it. And I do have the evidence on that. What? That was on 12/2 that they towed it home, and the tow invoice is on page 6 of my exhibit.
Right, I have that.
At that point, I just felt devastated. I mean, I'm told the truck is fixed and it didn't even make it home, but I was told my warranty's over. That I understood they fixed it twice, but I just didn't get it home. I didn't get any use out of it myself. I just felt I had 6 months of warranty left, my personal opinion. And of the 12,000 mile part of the warranty, I drove in total 4,000. And after giving them 10,000, close to 10,000, and waiting a year with no recourse with Mike's Auto, I couldn't financially afford to have it repaired at that time. So I feel that I was entitled to roughly the 6 months again warranty, and the truck just sat at my house until I could financially do something. So that let's see, 2023, I had a couple estimates in town, and one was at Excellent Auto in Redmond, and they diagnosed it and they provided me an estimate for repair, and that estimate is page 7 and 8 of my exhibit.
But 6 months is a long time. She is tore up. We hear people talk about really serious shit sometimes in this court, and they're not as upset as she is. Also, we've had some absolutely wild cases from this court. I would love to go back to maybe that's what we'll do for New Year's, like a best of Thurston County top moments. Adopt the car out immediately. She had a long winter. Inside, unable to leave, just stockpiling oil.
Okay, so I'm
Oil in
looking
case
at
she had to
the
leave.
invoice from XLNT, Excellent Automotive in Redmond, indicating that on the 3rd of September of 2023, they found a ticking sound and misfire codes. Vehicle was only capable of being towed at that point. And metal flakes in the oil overfull, slip timing chain.
Well, that's not good.
The oil control valve defective, and there was a short in the charging system. So that's what I'm seeing on that.
At that time, I was just unable to proceed with the work with the estimate they provided me.
Right.
In July, I just let the trucks towed it back home and let the truck sit until I could financially get another estimate from another auto repair shop. So I authorized the work be repaired by Oscar's
Mhm.
Automotive
Good night. Bill.
on 9/10 of, let's see, I got that wrong, of
Hey, Adam,
2024.
what's up?
I got an estimate from Oscar's and I authorized them to repair my engine. And the invoice of that statement from Oscar's is seen on page 9, 10, and 11 of my exhibits.
That's the $12,050.
That is correct.
Just hold on there a second.
I realized I didn't eat today. But I've got some Gatorade Zero that can be my hero. I've been singing out of tune today. Everything out of tune today. Judge, so slow. Can we hear from Ken or Mike? This is Washington State, Thurston County, Washington. Washington State.
Okay, go ahead.
Finally.
That is all my
Oh, no,
evidence.
not her.
Your Honor, I just wanted my truck repaired to a reliable state. I paid the invoice, trusted the warranty would cover any issues if they came up. I was patient and accommodating with the 11-month long delay and trusted that the engine would be repaired, but instead told no further warranty and the truck not even making it 150 miles towards home. And eventually, I eventually have a reliable and non-ticking engine today, but it has cost me over $25,000 with both of the two shops to do the same job. And I feel that I received nothing of the value with the 913791 that I paid Mike's Plum Street Auto. And if not already nearing the maximum allowable for small claims, I would ask for my oil change, battery, and several toll bills to be included in this judgment. I feel though I did everything that I could to be expected under these circumstances and commuting concerns, following recommendations they offered, and being vigilant with issues as they arose. I just feel, well, Mike's Auto didn't fulfill their obligations in any way.
All right, thank you. So you keep referring to a warranty.
Yes,
Is that reflected in any of the documents that you submitted?
yes, it is page 1, 2, and 3.
Judge, look at that. Ma'am. I mean, that seems so insane to me to put that much money
Okay, so I
into
see a
an old.
12-month,
it's a
12,000 mile warranty associated with it.
Correct.
And what was your understanding? 12 months or 12,000 miles, whichever came
Either.
first?
Yeah, yes. But again, I only had it 6 months and then he had it
Okay,
for 11 months after that.
all right,
And then I had it for 1
That
day
is too long.
after
Right.
the second repair.
okay, thank you.
Well,
And on behalf of Mike's, who's going to speak?
You're
Go ahead,
muted.
You're muted.
You're muted. It's tough. You gotta unmute.
You'll need to unmute.
Ken
There we
Scobie.
Okay. Mr. Scobie, go ahead.
On May 19th, 2021, Andrew Sheehan brought in his 2007 Nissan Frontier to our establishment. At this time, we diagnosed that the truck had fallen out of time and the engine needed to be replaced.
Hey, Mr. Scobie,
Yes,
tell me what your role is at Mike's.
I am a service advisor.
Okay, okay, go ahead.
The mileage at that time was 123,074 miles. The customer was provided options at that time of replacing the engine with either a rebuilt engine or a used engine. Customer opted to replace the engine with a used engine to curb the cost of a rebuilt one. We gave her a 12-month, 12,000 mile warranty, whichever comes first. The repairs were done and the car was picked up June 21st of 2021. On or around April 29th of 2022, received a phone call from Carolyn that she was having trouble with the engine we installed. I did find her a shop in Redmond to take it to, and they did bring the car in and diagnosed it as a seized engine. At that time, we towed the vehicle back to our shop and performed the repair again with another used engine as originally specified in the original invoice.
So a different used engine?
A different, another used engine, yes. It was made clear to Carolyn that the engine was used, and she chose to go that route. At the time of the replacement of the second engine, we found the cause of the failure for the second engine to be continued use of the vehicle with a misfire. In scanning the engine's computer, we found that it had a misfire code from a failed ignition coil. That failed ignition coil was allowing unburnt fuel to go into the engine and caused it to seize and have a major mechanical failure. Even though an ignition coil is not within the scope of our original repair, we honored the warranty and put another used engine in. It did take until November 29th of 2022, and that's when she picked up the car and left. After that, we never heard from Carolyn again until now. She's saying she broke down on the way home, but the invoice on the place that she had it inspected at is 2,000 miles later. So I don't know what happened to this third engine, nor were we ever given any opportunity to inspect it or provide any customer service, customer satisfaction, or warranty repairs for that matter. The warranty is from the original date of purchase or date of pickup. She did use the car from June 21st to June 21st, 2021 to April of 2022. And then we did honor the warranty. We were not in a breach of a contract. We did tow it back up to our shop to the tune of $1,200 and spent another $3,000 repairing the vehicle under warranty. After she picked it up after that, we never heard from her again. Never had an opportunity to even try to enforce a warranty, nor did we ever tell anybody that there was no more warranty on this car. So at this point, you know, we're saying we did our job as a business and we tried to honor the warranty. We also honestly tried to enter into mediation and that was refused.
Okay, so when you installed the second engine, so when she brought it back, it looks like in April 2022, did you renew a warranty at that time?
No, the warranty is from the original purchase. Especially on a used engine.
Right, but I mean, it's a different engine you're putting in, right? You put an entirely different engine in it.
Yes, that's correct.
And was there discussion that, okay, now you have another 12 months warranty on this engine, or you're just, this engine's being put in without warranty? And was, where were you on
I
that?
do not recall that conversation.
Okay, and what would be the normal practice of Mike's in that if you've taken out an engine that you'd previously put in under warranty, you take that out and you put in another engine, what's your typical practice as far as the warranty goes?
The normal practice would be the warranty is from the original date of purchase of the original engine.
Okay, so you're not warrantying subsequent engines that are put in beyond what the warranty was.
I will say that drew me away from Fitbit for a while because they replaced a Fitbit product under warranty and then it broke immediately. And then I
as
was like, but
far
this is
as
a new one.
the,
And they're like, no, the new warranty.
ignition coil being the source of the problems you believe in the first used engine that was put in there, Did you address that when you put in another engine?
No, we did not. We took care of it.
Yes,
For her.
yes, we addressed it, fixed it at no cost to the customer.
Okay, so the second engine you sent out, in your mind, the ignition coil issue had been addressed.
Yes, we
Correct.
repaired that.
Judge is pondering this one. I fucking wonder. What do you
And
think he's gonna say?
would
What is he
the
gonna
ignition
rule?
coil issue contribute to the ticking noise that had been reported throughout the various months of this engine?
No,
Okay. That wouldn't be something reflective of the ignition coil problem.
no.
Any thoughts on what that was?
No, because we didn't have an opportunity to inspect that.
Did you ever hear that when it was in your shop?
No.
Day to night. I think I want to take this off. I love the choker, but it's choking me. Judge? And yeah, I worked at a car dealership for a long time. I've dealt with people screaming and crying at me about their car, so don't worry. This is a safe space. But what is the judge gonna rule? He's praying. It looks like he's praying, doesn't it?
And did you review the work done by Oscars ultimately in July of 2024, the invoice they provided as to the work they did? It looks like they put in another used engine is what it looks like to me.
I think in the invoice that I looked at, it was actually a rebuilt engine at that time.
Yeah, okay, I see
From
that.
Oscars.
Yeah, and I'm looking at that invoice. Is there anything in there that would reflect ongoing issues with the ignition coil?
No.
Yeah, rebuilt
And
engine is a
Ms.
few
Sheehan, anything
photos.
else you want to add? You've heard some of my questions and their answers.
I am disagreeing with a few things they say. Upon the ticking, they don't remember, which I got at home and went to Gills, which they told me to have the oil change, and they noted it was ticking. And the second engine being replaced, being told I didn't have a warranty, and then it breaking down on the way home. I didn't feel I had any more warranty to ask for. I felt like I was gone.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do.
All right. But it was your son who drove the
Yes, and he is here
pickup and
for-
driving, right? Okay. Sir, would you just come on up and let me swear you in so you
Oh my God, her
heard
son's
there.
coming up. Is
raise your right
he
hand? Swear the
available?
testimony in this case with truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Yes, I do. And you can have a seat there. So the question I have is when you picked up the car after Mike's put in the second engine, was there any discussion about the warranty at that time?
There was. It was a quick discussion. I went into the shop, brought $200. There's a battery needed to be paid for, and he said, "Let your mother know that there's no more warranty after this. They're done." I said, "Okay." I
Okay,
immediately
so-
reported that back to her.
They didn't say anything about a new warranty because of the second engine coming in.
No, that was literally what was said. No
It
more
made clear to
warranty.
you that the warranty. was
Yeah,
over.
yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Son, I think you just fucked your mother's case. Right? Am I wrong? I don't understand. Unless you have like sentimental value in the car, I don't know why you would pay $25,000 to fix it.
All right.
2008. Judge?
In this
Are you
case, you
ready?
had the installation of a replacement engine. Looks like in late May or early June of 2021. And that installation was paid for by Ms. Sheehan. The ultimate cost was somewhat greater than the estimate, but she decided to pay it anyway and did so. And had noticed a ticking sound shortly after getting use of the engine. They started noticing about 6 months later that the engine was leaking oil, burning oil, it's unclear, but was using oil to pretty significant rate beyond normal use. Ultimately, had a failure of the engine. And
I would support them keeping that map.
pursuant to the warranty in effect at that time, Mike's paid for towing back to Olympia from Redmond, Oregon,
It's always a mic.
and installed another used engine in the vehicle, which was ultimately picked up by Ms. Sheehan's son in November of 2022. And on the way home, the engine failed as he tried to go up and over Mount Hood around Government Camp.
Used cars are not the problem. It's rebuilding an engine in a used car. Riverside, I wouldn't recommend that. Take them $4,000, buy yourself a used car. Work your way up. You know what I mean? Like, not all used cars are bad. There's lots of really good used cars out there. What I would never recommend buying a new car. Oh my God. I used to sell new cars. Terrible. Terrible.
And I believe at that point, Ms. Sheehan has said that of the 12,000 miles of the warranty, she had driven approximately, or the vehicle had been driven approximately 4,000. And both parties seem to agree the warranty was 12 months or 12,000 miles, whichever comes first. Mike's indicates that when they put in the second engine, they had noticed a problem with the ignition coil, which had significantly impacted the operation of the first engine they put in, and they addressed that issue in putting in the second engine. And my review of the next detailed diagnosis of that engine, which was done by Oscars in July of 2024, I also did not see anything in there about ignition coil being an issue. Mike's review of the invoice done by Oscars for rebuilding the engine didn't indicate any issue with the ignition coil. So it appears to me that Mike's had indeed satisfied the warranty by having the vehicle towed to Olympia, installing a second used engine at that point at no cost to Ms. Sheehan, and issues persisted. It is unclear what those issues were. But I'm going to find that at that time, the warranty had indeed run, since it was beyond the 1 year that had been indicated, which came first over the 12,000 miles. And I suspect that's what Ms. Sheehan's son, when he heard them say there's no more warranty, that conversation may have been 2 months premature. But well, okay, just a second. 2 months premature, and that it was done in April, and the original warranty took effect in June of the prior year. So there was technically 2 months left in it. The argument that they had the vehicle for some extended period of time for purposes of installing a second engine, in my mind, doesn't stay the running of the warranty. The year is 1 year, just straight 1 year. The fact that you don't drive it, it would be somewhat akin to bringing the vehicle home, putting it in your garage and not driving it, and then saying, okay, after a year I'll drive it. Now my warranty continues because I haven't been driving it. So in my mind, the warranty doesn't work that way. It's just a straight 1 year. The warranty would expire in June of 2022. So I'm going to.
I agreed with that also, Judge. But at 6 months, they took it to their shop, and I let them, instead of working on my truck and getting it out of there within a month or two, they took 11 months and did jobs in between, and I accommodated that. So that expired without me having use of that truck.
Yes, and I understand. That. Yeah, I understand that's what happened, but I don't have any other way that I can evaluate that warranty. The warranty is from June of 2021 to June of 2022, whether it was in your garage or their garage.
Right.
That's the warranty expired. I cannot find in the materials that I have here a basis to believe that upon the installation of the second engine, that Mike's in any way performed defective service or gave you a defective product. Ultimately, you had to replace that second engine or have it rebuilt, I guess. But that was in July of 2024. And there's nothing in the Oscars diagnosis which would allow me to find that that was as a result of the work done by Mike's. So based on that, I'm going to have to dismiss the claim. And both parties, I'll note, have spent lots of money on this truck. Both Ms. Sheehan and also Mike's, not nearly the amount of money Ms. Sheehan has put in, but they put money in under the terms of their original warranty. All right, and Ms. Sheehan will give you a copy of this. Yes, and I appreciate everybody's time. Thank you. And Mike's, if you want a copy, you can reach out to district court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll get you a copy here in just a moment.
Oh, she is pissed.
Rocky, you got something for us?
Yes, Green versus Counterfeit.
Yes.
375 is reaching agreement.
Of course.
What's happening? Are you making us see the next case? What's happening?
Oh, thank you.
Rocky, thank you for your work. The case that was ripe for mediation, that was it. So good job. Good to see you.
Yeah.
That's too, Paul. But this judge followed. Oh,
all right, folks. I'm sorry for the travails with that truck, but yeah, good luck going forward.
Yeah, get a new fucking truck, by the way.
So are we going to see you pro tem for us at all?
What's that?
Are we going to see you pro tem for us?
I would tune you.
Pro tem as a judge?
You're doing the hard work now.
Right. you guys all done with the cases? for
No,
now?
I have to do one other.
Oh, okay.
We have two others,
There's
like,
two other.
Does
Okay.
anyone need a mediation or they're in mediation?
no, there's no more.
Thanks, Rocky.
Yeah. that's it. Here.
You still flying?
Yeah, well, yeah, I got a little glitch on my medical, so
Oh,
I have been grounded for the last couple months, but
hope that
Little
goes okay.
next Tuesday. so I have my medical.
Okay, all right, good
Sounds
luck
like
on that.
a lie. I normally fly. That sounds like a thing you tell a girl that you take on a date. Well, I
Okay, we'll
normally
call
fly, but
the
I had a
matter of,
glitch with
Karina-
my licensing. I'm getting it fixed next Tuesday. Oh, we should add that as a command. Exclamation mark Tuesday. I'm getting my pilot's license fixed on Tuesday. Usually people are getting their eyebrows. Oh, sorry. Now I've read eyebrows. Bitch, eyebrows engaged. Yes. Usually people, oh, now my attention span's absolutely fucked. I can't remember. You absolutely ruined it. No. Oh no. Oh, Judge. You gotta take over. I can't go back 60 seconds. I'm just gonna keep going and I'll remember it in a minute. That's what always happens.
Martushev and Lori Gullion. And if you both raise your right hands for me, please.
Karina,
Swear
you
the
scared
testimony
me.
in this
It's like
case be the
you're
truth, whole truth, and
fucking
nothing but the
Halloween
truth.
already.
Yes.
All right. This is a claim for,
It's just me, the only lonesome.
we're working on another case.
It's just
We're
me.
working,
Hold on. What is happening? In no world did that just happen. Oh my god. What a day. What an absolute day. I can't even handle it, to be honest. Apoplectic was the word of the day, by the way.
this is a claim for,
It's just me, the only lonesome.
we're working on another case. We're working, or pardon me, we have a claim for $4,911 for, it says septic design. And Ms. Martushev, you are the buyer of a property, is that right? Purchaser of a property?
Potential purchaser, yes, sir.
Okay. All right, go ahead. And one of the things as you tell me about this is in your materials, I saw that you were seeking a refund of $1,911. So you'll have to let me know how you get the $4,911.
I was seeking a refund for the $3,000 that I paid to the septic designer and then the $1,911 from the county permits. The county actually issued me a refund of $474.40. So that would bring their balance to $44,3660 for the remainder.
And county refunded how much of the 1911?
$474.40.
$474.40.
Yes, sir.
So many
thank
fours.
you.
That's actually good luck in Chinese culture. I think
And who
four
is
is
the
good luck and
septic
8's
designer?
bad luck.
Adam Hunter with Jim Hunter and Associates.
Or is it
Okay,
the opposite?
but they
way
were not
around?
named as a defendant in this matter.
No.
4 means death, I think. and 8 is good. Now I want Chinese food. That's not racist. I'm just really hungry. I forgot to eat all day. I didn't have a nice cushy office like Lori over here with the cuck chair in the corner. A plushy cup chair, might I add, with a little cup cabinet beside it, in case you want to hide and watch, you know, because that's some people's thing, I've heard. Also, what is with the people walking behind the judge? I would raise that at a meeting. Yeah, it's embarrassing, Karina. Can we get a schedule for their breaks or something so they're not walking behind the goddamn judge? They're using his bathroom, right, Jim? Oh, Mac. You know, there's a way to turn off the leaderboard now. So you can petition your favorite YouTubers to turn off. I have some granola I'll eat. It's not very good calories. They're somewhat empty, Judge, if you would say. But they'll do. It'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Actually, they're pretty delicious. It's mixed berry crunch. I'm looking for protein cereal, but they don't really have it in Canada. Whoever thought? What is this case about, Judge? She was gonna buy a house and then she didn't? Long story short for everybody. I'm regretting doing this case, Judge. You're gonna make me turn it off. What is going on?
Property in Olympia or in Thurston County?
Yes.
Thank you.
I love pierogies, Shardell. And I love feeding people too. Oftentimes when I post pictures or send pictures of my food that I've made, people ask me how many I'm cooking for. It's always less than they guess. I just always make a lot of food. Oh my god. You guys are killing me. I worked all day. I literally have not sat down until I started doing the show. I'm at 17,000 steps. And I'm tired. Judge, you are pushing my fucking patience with your silent reading. The least you could do is sort of mumble out loud so that I know the thing is not fucking paused. Right,
Okay,
Jim?
so,
now I'm talking.
Ms. Martusha, if you'll, I've read what's been filed, but let's make a record of.
Bro, did you just call her
why the-
Morticia? Hold on. Did he just call her Morticia? We gotta go back.
So, Ms. Martusha, if you'll, I've read what's been filed, but let's make a record of why this purchase did not close. Go ahead.
Oh, so I was looking at Miss Goulian's property out on Boston Harbor for quite some time. It had been on the market for over a year. It had stated in the original posting that the wetland delineation had been completed. And when you're buying land, that's huge because it gives you an idea of buildability. I entered into contract with them on May 17th of 2025. The original contract that I had asked for was
Ma'am, you need to stop. I just need to inform you all of the Canadian pan-fried pierogi method. It is tried, tested, and true in my home, soon to be you. You can take a frozen pierogi. Now, I know that fresh pierogies are better. These instructions are not for people that are making fresh pierogies. These instructions are for people that buy frozen pierogies. You buy your frozen pierogies and you get the pan and you put enough oil to cover the pan a little bit deep, and then you put them frozen into the pan, and then you flip them every 2 minutes for like 8 to 10 minutes, and they'll be perfect from frozen. I promise.
90 days with the conditions of a conditional site approval and a septic design approval. They said no and countered with taking those off the board and dropping the contract down to 45 days, only allowing me to do a complete feasibility study in 45 days. I had let them know that the county is backlogged and completing any feasibility study in 45 days would not happen. But I had agreed, came back and asked them to at least do a critical area design on the property. So I knew if there were spots where it would be buildable for me. Since they only allowed the 45 days and we were on that time crunch to get my feasibility done, I wanted to see if there would be any availability to have a septic put in anywhere on the property. The initial spot that we chose, we put in a application and I had the permit study done or the septic study done. They came out and they dug perk holes, drew up the plans, submitted it to the county for approval. I wasn't waiting for it to be approved or denied. That's on me. If it gets denied, I move another spot on the property for my septic. That's not what I was waiting on. They agreed to do the conditional site approval on the 20th. Lori's husband went and submitted a conditional area delineation or conditional area design application to the county to start that process that they had agreed on in our contract. The county came back on June 16th and told them that the wetland had expired because apparently it had been used with one of the other properties that it was originally approved for. So they needed to complete a new wetland delineation in order for the critical area design to be completed. We received a email copy that they had sent their real estate agent with them acknowledging that the new wetland needed to be done and them stating that they were no longer going to do the wetland delineation. Without a wetland delineation, you cannot have a critical area design approved. I don't want to purchase property that is going to be at wetland and I'm not going to be able to do anything on. I had originally come back and asked them, hey, are you willing to lower the asking price? I did ask for a significant amount. I think it was around 18 or 20,000 because the terrain on that property is very hilly and getting stuff approved. If anything would have been approved, there would have been a lot of land moving that had to go with that, and that's an expensive cost. And if they were going to back out on agreeing to do a CAD and I had to go forward with getting a new wetland delineation that they had advertised was done already, it was going to cost me a lot of money. They said no. They declined the price reduction. I canceled the contract because they weren't keeping true to their word. I got my earnest money back and I requested an application to be pulled from the county because I no longer needed that septic approval. That's when the county after months, reimbursed me the $474. The design is still on file. The application was the only thing that was pulled. If they have another seller that wants to come in and wants a 4-bedroom septic in the same location, all that work is taken out for them of having it done and those fees paid. They just need to go back and resubmit the application. She originally, I'm hoping that they were willing to deal in good faith since they promised something they didn't. They had said they're not going to pay any further for this wetland review. And actually looking at the files the other day, they went ahead and moved forward with a new wetland delineation and went and got that approved after the fact, instead of just agreeing to do it with us. They were saying that it's not up to them and that the buyer is supposed to be due diligent on the property. I did tons of due diligence before I even offered, which is when the county had said the CSA expired, they need a new CAD. I had my real estate agent tell them this. Our agents went back and forth with us and with each other. That's how we agreed upon that they would do the CAD. I had to move quickly on getting a septic design, so I knew it would be feasible for me to build somewhere on the property asking for this CAD. It's not saying, if they would have said that I can't have the septic design where I want it, I just would have moved it. That wasn't any of it. But I had this short window that they gave me instead of this longer window to try to get everything done to see if the property was feasible. I felt like they were just cutting that time frame because they just wanted the property to be done and sold. I'm just asking for the money back that I put in to have this septic design drawn up and put in because of the time frame that I had to work with. I was hoping that they would have a good faith effort and there wasn't any put on their side. I checked with the city and did all my due diligence. And I'm just asking to have that back because they're profiting on it if another potential buyer wants to use it. Their real estate agent the very next day reached out to my partner, not realizing he was my partner, advertising that the septic design was completed and now pitching that there was this attachment to the file before they realized I had tried to pull the application.
Okay. And your argument regarding the addendums that were part of the purchase agreement and the argument that Ms. Gilliam's going to make that they basically immunize themselves from any responsibility?
I feel like, well, she didn't initial the rejected page. They only crossed it out. But the due diligence was for the conditional site approval and the septic area, the septic design approval. I was not waiting for it to be approved, and we took the conditional site approval off the table, which was the whole package, which includes the wetland, the critical area, the septic, all of it. So I had agreed to those terms that those two things did not matter.
Okay. So the provision in paragraph 3 of the addendum, which indicates that seller shall cooperate with buyer in obtaining permits or other approvals, provided the seller is not on the hook for any liability or expense. So
that's when the seller's not agreeing and the seller agreed. That's why I went forward with it. They had agreed to complete this CAD and move forward with the process. I didn't do it without their agreeance, and I would not have if they would have not agreed. And they showed they were in agreement by going and submitting the critical area design review permit.
And when was that done?
They submitted the critical area design application on May 20th.
I just realized something.
All right,
That
Ms.
wardrobe
Gillian?
doesn't lead to Narnia.
Yes, Your Honor. I signed a vacant land and sales agreement with the plaintiff for a 5-acre parcel of land on May 16th of this year. And this is our agreement, Exhibit A. As the seller, I honored all the terms of that agreement. A septic design was never part of the agreement. There's no place in the contract where I agreed to pay for any of the buyer's feasibility expenses.
That's it? That's all you got, Lori?
And I also then, as my exhibit 2, have the addendum where we struck out the septic system. And that was initialed up here on the first page of the contract. Line 19, we initialed that change, as did she.
You did not initial the page.
No,
That
I didn't sign the
crossed out.
page. We X'd the page out and then I signed the change on line 19 of the.
Yeah, so I don't want to have the two of you arguing
Right.
back and forth. I'll give you each an opportunity to say what you have to say. So go ahead, Ms.
Okay.
Gillian. Anything else?
So, yes, we were not interested in having anything to do with the septic system. Yes, so we took that off because it was first initially a 90-day close, but it also on the addendum says the closing's contingent upon obtaining the conditional site. So it sounded a bit open-ended as well. And we felt this was a responsibility for a buyer of the property once they're developing it. I didn't really want to get involved. We're just interested in selling our 5 acres of land. So, and then, yes, also on the feasibility, I had the same point that we should cooperate with the buyer, but it says the seller shall not be required to incur any liability or expense in doing so. And the buyer due diligence, one of the things there, buyer inquiry should include but not be limited to, one of the things is wetlands as part of her due diligence. So, and she's saying she did that, so that's great, but the way we found, well, I should back up. I'll go then to Exhibit 3, shall I?
Okay.
This is specifically with a text and email from our agent on 5/16 about the same time we're working through submitting the contract, and the contract's kind of going back and forth between us. And so on Exhibit C, we received a text from our real estate agent saying, I'll keep you posted. Spoke with Adam Hunter, who is the septic designer. It was a conditional site approval that expired. So that does need to be updated, but that's just a stamp pretty much, but the county may take their time as usual. So then it's more about the contract. And then a day later, email from Keenan French. Here's a new offer. What do you think? I spoke with Adam in the morning. He said it would be quick and easy to apply for the CARP critical area. That is what expired. The wetland delineation section is still good through 2027. So the septic designer specifically cited that as not being something that we would be dealing with. We committed to work on the new CARP critical area. And that is what my husband went in and reapplied. He did that with the next business day. He was down submitting that portion that we committed to doing. And that included us actually paying $700 so that we could move along with this. We had no idea she was doing a septic system design at this time. Our closing was at 45 days, so we thought we were, we didn't know she was doing, we had no knowledge of her doing a septic system design. So that's where we are with that. Exhibit
right.
C and D.
Creme brulee, you're killing me, Mac.
And pardon me for a moment.
Judge? You want creme brulee too? I know. Also, Pizza Man, welcome back, baby. I feel like there's a critical pizza alert in my brain. It says, Paisley, you don't want to cook.
And Ms. Martushev? Anything further?
Yes, I know they are saying that they did not agree to the wetland. It's because they were under the assumption that the wetland was completed. It was even listed that it was completed. The county had come back and in Exhibit 9 stated that the wetland was no longer good in order to complete their CAD. So they never would have been able to complete the critical area design without that wetland. And the only reason I moved forward on a septic design was because I was given 45 days. I didn't put a septic in. All I did was had the portholes dug, and we were told that that was acceptable. And I wasn't going to say yes or no. So I followed the contract when they're saying that it was based on a septic design approval. I was not waiting for a septic design approval. I'm trying to make sure that a septic can go on that property anywhere. And now they get to utilize that design going forward because I can't pull that from the records.
You can't pull it. Yeah, Brooklyn, I'm still up. It's only 7:00.
So I was trying to get my feasibility done in a short period of time that I was allowed. And I was honestly hoping that they would be willing to deal in good faith because they had promised something and they had made an agreement to something. And they were the ones that said they weren't going further. And then they actually turn around and complete the task after the
Get
fact
septic in your
that
wetland.
we break, the contract got broken.
It's a bad idea, folks.
At any point during this process, did you inform Ms. Gillian that you indeed were doing, had committed to a septic design?
Yes, I had asked my agent to verify with them if it was okay to go ahead and move forward. And I was told it was. She may or may not have been aware of that.
Yeah, and I'm not even using my anti-death filter. I'm owning my vampireness. Christopher Engelby, how was Texas Roadhouse?
At this point, I question if either of our agents were working in the best interest.
Now I want rolls upon rolls. Oh my God.
But one of my exhibits, it shows that their agent acknowledged that it was wholeheartedly, fully their fault. We were more than willing and we really wanted that property. And I felt like they were taking advantage of the fact that we were trying to get all this stuff done to meet the accommodations that they gave us.
I know.
And we would have gone through, even if we would have gotten a septic design denial, we still would have brought the property. We just would have put it somewhere else based on where the wetland review told us. But if the wetland review says you can't have a septic anywhere, we can't build.
Right. So I've reviewed his documents. I don't recall seeing anything where there was any conversation not between the you and your agent, but between you and Ms. Gillian concerning your commitment to do a septic.
No,
Is there
that
any-
was through our agents.
And you don't know whether your agent told Ms. Gillian or not?
I do not. I have not spoken to Miss Gillian until today.
Hi, Erica. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing good. I like your picture. Presto's volunteer. Can we write that down, please? Presto volunteers for wetland reviews, please. Also, I'm so glad that you had a good time, Christopher Engelby. And Jim, I am going to Google the Philippines Christmas season after this show and probably spend my night watching some food videos and eating grapes. Judge.
You know, this is sort of falls in the category of what I was talking about at the beginning when I was urging mediation, which is you don't ask me to come up with the best solution. I might be coming up with a different solution if I was a mediator, not if I'm the judge. And being a judge, I have to just look at what the law is. And in this case, it's pretty much governed by the contract with one potential exception. And the contract is fairly specific in relieving the seller of certain obligations and putting certain obligations on the buyer. It seems to make fairly clear that the buyer is taking the risk in this matter in applying for the various permits and any design contributions to the property, and relieving the seller of obligations for liability or expense. So that's the law that I have to look at. I think, and I understand Ms. Matushev's point that now there's a septic plan she's paid for that somebody else can use to the benefit of Ms. Gullion and purchase the property. They can say, look, there's already a septic plan approved. So we're saving you a lot of money. Buy this property. I understand that argument, but without evidence that Ms. Gullion was aware that there had been a commitment by Ms. Martushev to invest in that design, I can't apply the argument of unjust enrichment, which would allow me to find that even though there wasn't an agreement as to the septic design, that Ms. Gullion was in fact the beneficiary of that and should pay the cost of that. But I can't enforce that without Ms. Gullion having any knowledge that that in fact happened. If that had occurred, if I had evidence showing that, then that's where I would have gone. I would have found that that overruled the provision in the contract, but that's the only way I could find that it would overrule the provision in the contract. I don't have the evidence that supports that without that notice being provided to Ms. Gullion. So this is one of those cases where I do feel bad for Ms. Martushev that they made this commitment and now somebody else is going to benefit from their expenditure of funds for a septic design for that property. But I can't come up, I can't negotiate it. I can't split the baby and say half, whatever. That's what I told you at the beginning.
Isn't part of a feasibility study is being able to install a septic and make sure that the land is buildable?
Yeah, I think their contract pretty much relieved them of all liability in those regards. And that's what I'm looking at. That's how I interpret that contract, unfortunately. So,
but they also made a verbal contract that they would agree to do this. And it's in writing from my agent.
Verbal contract.
I think the written contract in this party supersedes any other testimony here, short of Ms. Martushev being able to tell me that she's certain that Ms. Gullion was aware of her commitment to a septic design. The contract's pretty clear. It was initialed by the parties, signed by the parties, and I'm bound by that. So that being the case, I will dismiss the plaintiff's claim for those reasons. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. She was miserable about that at the end. But you know what? That's okay. Yeah, most of the time somebody leaves court upset. Lucky it's not me tonight. I'm just hungry. I ate a cracker. I'm gonna go make myself some dinner. I've not decided what yet. Oh, the joys of being an adult. Anyways, we got like a few big D's tonight. We'll be back at it again tomorrow night. And she thinks live of her schedule. She can't recall, so don't worry at all. I'll tell you when we'll be live again, but please come back. We've missed you so, oh Presto and Pizza Man. Never grow up. I won't, Courtney. Don't worry. I will always be willing to be adopted out. I love you guys so much. Seriously, Dwight, love it. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I really appreciate all of you that came over from the much better show over at Credence and Mikey. Mikey will be on vacation next week, so perhaps I'll have a chance to up my game. We'll see. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. Do me a favor. Remember that I love you and I'm proud of you, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.
Ways down and ready to ride.